Hello, welcome back to the You at Your Best podcast. I'm your host, Morgan. So I haven't recorded a podcast episode in a little bit. We've been moving. I know I said in my last episode that we were looking at a new apartment. We ended up getting that apartment and I'm in it right now. It's been a lot harder to record an episode since we moved in here. First of all, because we're doing so much, we still have so much unpacking to do. At this place, I've been really trying to make it look good. Unlike our other apartment, that was kind of just for survival, and I never really tried to make it look good or figure out my personal interior design style. And that's something that I'm still figuring out. We have a lot of things that were given to us or things that we can't really afford to buy new of them. So I've just had to work around what we have. And our living room, we put our rug down the day before yesterday, I think, and I got one that matches our coffee table and our TV stand. I wouldn't say that the coffee table or the TV stand are something that I would choose personally, but they are what work for us right now. So I tried to work around that, and we actually found a really cheap couch on Amazon for only $300. So we're gonna get that. My mom actually offered to buy that for us. Once she gets paid again and has the money, because she has a good amount of bills right now, just like us. The rug that I chose for the living room, it's something that I would have never chose before because it's just different. It's dark. And our coffee table and our TV stand are dark, and then we're going to have a lighter couch and then lighter curtains. But it's a lot different. It's not something that I would have chose. I actually used to be terrified of having darker colors in my home. I was scared that it would make it look dark. I've realized that maybe dark colors on the wall would make it look dark, and I don't think I would ever have dark walls, but maybe that'll change too. I don't know. I've really been into darker woods and darker colors here lately, which is completely out of my comfort zone. But I've been just trying to make things work with what we have, and it's kind of weird, and maybe the stuff that we have don't really match because in our living room, our apartment is pretty small, bigger than our last one. It's a 2-bedroom, but it's still fairly small, but it's an open concept. So our living room, dining room, and kitchen, they're all like right there together in one straight line. So our dining room area, we have a white table and a white hutch, and then we have darker colors in our living room, which is literally right next to it. So I am a little bit worried that they're not going to go together, but for now it's what we have and it's what I'm going to work with, and I'm going to try to find things for our home that make each part look good. And we have, in our kitchen, we have gray cabinets, and it actually looks really nice. It makes it look bright, but I would have never chose gray cabinets. I would have chose white, but we're going to have to work around that and find colors that work with it. But I've also realized that, like, it's okay to mix things. Like, even if it doesn't match perfectly, if I like it, it works. And, like, for right now, I'm still learning my design style and still figuring out how to make things work together. My brain doesn't think in pictures. I think in words. So I don't really have an eye for things. I have to see pictures of something to be able to understand what I like. And also, I've never really been the type to pay close attention to details. So I've been going on Pinterest and just saving a bunch of things. Like, if there's one thing in the picture that I like, then I save it. And I have saved like a million things just to figure out what I like. I know in my other episode about finding personal style, I talked about how you should try to only save things that you know you like every aspect of it when I was talking about outfits. But I actually disagree with that now. I've realized that it's better to just save a bunch of things and then look at those things for inspiration to see what you like. But the reason why I said that is because during that time, which wasn't that long ago, I didn't really pay much attention to details. So I felt like, for me, since I'm not the type of person to naturally pay attention to detail, and for a lot of people who are also like that, I felt like you had to only save things that you specifically like, every single part of it, because then you know like what you have and what you like. But I've realized that whenever you save things that you, even if you don't necessarily love it, but you like some part of it, that really helps you understand what you like. And also, like, I think I looked at it so black and white. I was so focused on being like, I have to find my style with clothing and with home design. I was so focused on that I didn't know that it made it really hard for me to actually buy things, because I was second guessing everything and questioning and so hesitant whenever I would go to buy something, because I didn't know if it would be something that would work for me. But what I've started doing instead now is I just buy it, and if I don't like it, then that's how I learned that I don't like it, through buying things and wearing things and putting things out in my home to see how they look. That's how I learn my style, not through hesitantly not buying anything. And also, like, I've been spending a little bit extra money on home decor and clothes for my closet, because that's important to me. And before I was always so scared to buy clothes or to buy anything for our apartment, our previous one, because I was so scared of not having enough money. Something I've realized is that, of course, it's so important to be reasonable, and I'm not going, if I could, I would literally just buy every single new thing that I want for our home right away. I'm going to have to slowly buy it all, which is fine. It'll probably take a while for our new apartment to fully be done or to fully look how I want it to. And even then, I may change my mind because I don't really know what I like yet. But instead of being terrified of not having enough money to survive, I'm going to buy things because I know that money is coming back to us. And during that time, whenever I was so scared, it wasn't like we didn't have the money. Like, we definitely do struggle with money, do struggle to pay bills at times, but I've realized that that's how most people are, and we weren't just like the less fortunate. We weren't so poor that we wouldn't be able to make our home look like a home. And I know so many people are in those situations, and I know it can probably be so annoying for those people hearing this, and they're struggling so much. But I do truly believe that whatever we believe comes true, because like I've said a million times, we work towards that. So I've been really just allowing myself to spend a little bit extra money without the fear that we're going to go broke or we're not going to have enough money to pay for necessities. Because something I've also been doing is really utilizing help. I, for the longest time, was so scared to ask people for help because I thought that it meant I had to help them back, or I had to pay them back right away, or I was a burden almost. But I've realized that allowing people to help me, it actually makes them feel closer to me. We're so fortunate enough to have family members who are willing to help us out. My mom, my boyfriend's grandparents, my boyfriend's parents, my grandparents on both sides. We have a lot of people in our lives who are willing to help and who want to help, but I would deny it a lot of the time whenever they would offer, because I felt like I was burdening them. I've realized that they want to help. That's why they offer. People don't offer to help unless they're actually wanting to. And I know there are some people who will do it because they feel obligated to, but it's not my job to distinct between the people that are doing it to people please and the people who are doing it because they genuinely want to. I truly believe in taking people for their word, and if someone says that they want to help, and if it does help me out, why would I say no to that? And I think a huge part of it was also I was so scared of people like taking over and controlling my life that I would say no to them because I didn't want them to be able to control my life. But I've realized that if people are able to control my life, that's an issue within me. It means I'm letting them do that. It has nothing to do with how controlling or non-controlling they are. So I started utilizing the resources that we have, the people who are willing to help us. We had so many people helping us whenever we were moving into our new apartment, and I was just in shock because I didn't even realize how many people we have that care so much for us and who genuinely want to help. Because during that time that I was so scared of people taking over, especially whenever I first had my baby, and I was dealing with so much postpartum depression and anxiety, I was terrified of those people taking over or somehow making it to where I couldn't raise my baby in the way that my boyfriend and I both really want to. But that's where personal boundaries, in the correct form of what boundaries actually are, that's where those come in place. And it's not it's not so black and white like I used to look at it. Like, if people would act controlling, I thought that they were horrible people, which makes no sense because I was also really controlling, but I guess I just didn't see that in myself. But utilizing those resources and allowing people to help you, that's what's so important. That's what we need to do in life. And I was so scared, like, their money is their money and I have to pay them back. I don't actually believe in that anymore. If someone wants to help us, it's because they want to help. It's not because they expect anything in return. Also, my baby, she is so loud right now. I really hope it's not super loud on the audio, but I can't keep her in her playpen anymore. She's literally right here with me, and we don't have a baby gate for her bedroom yet, so she's just kind of right here, literally right in front of me. But I forgot what I was saying, but I'm just going to restart. Utilizing those resources that can really help, and that can, I was saying, I don't believe that we should have to give back to people whenever they help us. Or, of course, we should give back and we should show people love, but everyone shows love and gives to people in their own way, and expecting ourselves to do the same thing that they're doing for us, that's just not helpful, and honestly, it's not authentic, and it's just more stressful and creates more anxiety. And I think that's a huge part of why I didn't want to let people help too, because the anxiety of having to give back to them, but I already am giving back to them by being myself, by being kind and understanding and utilizing my strength while also utilizing their strengths and the things that they're willing to give to me. And it isn't so black and white. It isn't give and take and give and take. It's allowing people to give to you and giving in your special way too. Allowing people to do for you the things that they offer to do. And again, if those people start to resent you for that, that's not your issue. That's probably because they deal with people pleasing and they feel like it's an obligation to help you, but it's not your fault that they feel that way. And like I said, take people for their word. If they say that they want to help you, believe them. Believe that they want to help you, even if they down the road start to resent you for it, because that's their own issue. And I'm sure most people don't do that. Most people don't resent people for allowing them to help them whenever they offered. I think sometimes people can help other people out a lot and then start to resent that person if that person doesn't help them out in the same way, because they don't notice that that other person is helping them, but with their own personal strengths. And I think that's what makes it so hard for us to accept help. And I know that can be really hard because we live in a world, the neurotypical world. I'm not saying every single neurotypical person is like this, but just the world that was created in the neurotypical image, the world that we live in, it's just constantly people pleasing, and there's no authenticity. There's no people giving and appreciating what others give, even if it looks a little bit different. And that's why I think being neurodivergent for me is such a huge thing and has really helped me understand that every single person has different strengths, and every single person is different. Even if they're not neurodivergent, they can still be different. Every single human being's brain is wired a little bit different, and everyone has different things that they can give to others. And I think that's something that we need to start being grateful for, noticing the good that other people give to us instead of being resentful to them because they're not doing for us exactly what we do for them. So whenever people offer you help and it's useful for you, accept it. I'm not saying you have to accept help if it's not useful and it doesn't really make sense to you. I just mean, if they're offering you something that you know would take some stress off of you or some of the mental load off of you, accept it. Let those people help you. Let them show you love in their way, because I promise you it's going to make them feel so much closer to you. Okay, my baby is getting into something. I don't know what it is, but okay, I think that's it for this episode. My baby keeps on getting into stuff, and then whenever I go over there to her, she starts like crawling away like she's running from me. It's so cute. She only started doing that whenever we moved into this apartment. But thank you so much for listening. I know this was a short one, and I know my most recent episodes have been pretty short. We've just been so busy all spring basically, but I'll see you next week.